Good morning, folks. This is Naeem Azam, Chief Market Analyst at EverTrade, and welcome to our daily technical analysis video. Today, we will have a look at the US stock market because major moves have happened overnight after Trump announced, or let's just say that he pulled the plug for another stimulus package until after US elections. So let's have a look at the stock market and then let's see what does it really mean for the major stock indices such as the S&P, the Dow, and the Nasdaq. But before we do that, as always, it is important for us to go through this slide of disclaimers and risk warnings. So anything which we'll be discussing in this particular video cannot be perceived as an advice. If you are seeking for one, please consider consulting with your own advisors. Now, as always, I'm going to bring out the MT4 platform and we will begin the analysis by looking at the S&P 500 index. However, I wanted to review something that we've discussed previously, and that was when the prices were trading in around here. Remember, we talked about this particular element that look, the Nasdaq index is losing its steam, and if the Nasdaq cannot pull the weight, if Nasdaq cannot continue its journey to the upside, then it is very likely for this stock market to lose its upward momentum and continue its journey to the upside. Now, of course, the House officials over in the United States, they wanted to break up the major tech companies. Now, that is very much weighing on the FANG stocks, the stocks like Apple, stocks like Google's Alphabet, stocks like Amazon. Now, because of that, we're seeing enormous amount of a weakness for the Nasdaq index. But the major weakness that we are seeing since yesterday for the S&P and for the Dow Jones is because Donald Trump has said that he doesn't want to do another stimulus package. That means no more checks for Americans before the US presidential elections. Now, obviously, this is a massive change. The market was expecting that Donald Trump will send another stimulus check, another checks to Americans, and that will help the entire campaign process, and that will also help Donald Trump to win the US elections. But this has come as a surprise for everyone because he doesn't want to do any stimulus until after the US elections. Now, because of that, the US market has started to sell off, and that is the primary reason that this particular move has happened. The move where the price is moved below or crash below the 50-day moving average, as you can see on the chart. So this pink line over here, this represents your 50-day average price for this index. And over here in orange, what you have is this represents your 100-day price average for the S&P 500. Similarly, in green, we have your 200-day average price. Now, as long as the price stays above these averages, the chances are that this upward momentum will continue. But that is not what we are seeing. What we are experiencing in the market is a price trading below this trend line. So in order to draw a trend line, all you have to do is you have to join the lower high. So the way that I've done it, and the price is clearly trading below that. In addition to this, the price has also formed a reversal pattern, and that reversal pattern is also known as the double top. So one top being here, the other top being over here. When the price forms a double top the way that it has done right over here, the next possible move, if the price cannot move to the upside, is usually to the downside. And that measured move usually happens in this way. So basically, what we have is we have a double top forming right over here. So the next potential move, if this double top plays out, then the next potential move is going to be the entire width of this particular rectangle, and that means that the price can drop well below its 100-day moving average, and it can really continue its journey towards its next price level, which is your 200-day moving average. Now let's hope that that doesn't happen. Let's hope that the price kind of quickly moves back above this one, and then we just kind of forget about everything, because there is an evidence of that for the Dow Jones index. Because when I look at the Dow Jones index yesterday, we see that yes, the price moved below this 50-day moving average, but today the Dow Jones index, it has moved above the 50-day moving average, which is certainly a promising sign, and which confirms that okay, the double top that we've been talking about for the S&P 500 index may not play. Although, just to mention, the double top is actually very much in play for the Dow Jones index as well. So the price is going to continue to face a lot of resistance, profit taking for the investors who bought it in around here. They will be taking some sort of a profit off the table. They'll be scaling out of that, and that means that the price is likely to, face more of a downward move. But the question, as always, is that okay, where is the opportunity? Shall we buy or shall we sell, or what can one can do under the current circumstances? Okay, so the answer to that question is pretty simple. If you are looking at the prices now, and then the moment that the price kind of breaks above this 50-day moving average, which it has, you may want to put your stop loss below this yesterday's low, and then look for the move which is to the upside, and then potentially that move would be more than this particular rectangle that I had before. Let me just put that rectangle back on the chart right over here. So potentially you want the price to be going well above that, because right now you are risking over here this much, right? So that is your risk. So in order to have a similar price move, you wanted to have at least 2 to 1 or at least 1 to 1, and that means that you really wanted to kind of take profit at the end of this particular resistance zone. So in around 28 200 is a price level that at least that's the 1 to 1 ratio. But what you want to do potentially is not 1 to 1, you want it to go 2 to 1, and that 2 to 1, my friends, is going to be well above this one. That is going to put us in this particular category. It is going to bring us in this resistance zone. That is the price move that we are really hoping to achieve from here. And if that happens, that would be quite pretty good in relation to in relation to this particular move. So to revise everything, the Nasdaq index is still trading below the 50-day moving average, which is certainly negative. The S&P 500 index is still trading below the 50-day moving average. Again, not so much positive. But the Dow Jones index, which represents the 30 most important American corporates or American companies, has started to show more bullish signals, and it is breaking above its 50-day moving average. And the price setup, I've explained it earlier. If you wanted to know a little bit more on that, go back and then have a look on that again. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment on the video or to interact with me on our Twitter, and I'd be more than happy to come back to you on that. That's all for today. Enjoy your day and happy trading.